Hi babes, good afternoon. Happy Tuesday, I think it is, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'm ready for like a very delicious reading. Some of these little pieces of paper got stuck, so let me read them out to you. Glam, is it glam? Gym, planned event, the letter P, the letter F, finance, and entertainer. So you might be meeting someone very soon. If you've had readings or had like epiphanies or visions that you were going to meet someone either like romantically or they were going to help you or give you like some kind of opportunity, that could be drawing very, very, very close. The initial energy that I was getting before the reading is feeling like, right, okay, you're going to get like a huge push. You're going to get a huge push and whatever you'd previously felt like unpushed with. Like if there's any doors that you just felt like, oh my god, these are like impossible to open, if you feel like you've been treading water in any particular area, you're going to get a big push. Something that I'm seeing is, it's kind of like when you like pray to the universe for money, it's not like you get money, but you get the ideas that will give you like the opportunity to make money. So there's a lot of kind of like a big push, a big like inadvertent help. So something that you really want to do is keep your eyes very peeled for opportunities, and this will come through really like establishing back to yourself about your self-concept, the type of person that you are, the type of potential that you have, what kind of life do you want. Like just get this as established as possible in your mind. Then your like internal navigation is always gonna want to kind of keep you on that trajectory. Part of that will be seeing opportunities and seeing where they are. Stunning. Okay, so what do you want to make, whoever's watching this right now, what do you want to make them known? What do you want to make known? I'm seeing the images of balloons, particularly like a blue balloon. So what is blue got like a meaning for you? Has it got a symbol for you? If you're in a relationship, you might get engaged soon. That's just like something very random off the rip. It could be news of a baby or like a pregnancy. Something else though, outside of the colour, is that I was seeing the visuals of kind of like a balloon slowly coming out of nowhere up to your face and then it being popped, and like inside the balloon is like an opportunity, and then I was seeing that like more would come. Okay, so very in line with what I was thinking. Justice, unreal. Something that I'm getting is it's very important for you to like stay focused at the moment and keep in your own energy. Keeping your own energy. I don't know whether a lot of people at the moment are kind of like pulling on you, or you feeling the energy of people kind of like wanting more of you, wanting like more from you, more of your time, blah blah blah. And definitely have fun with that. It feels very much just kind of like people are really catching on to like the buzz of you, so you might have like transformed. This feels like energetic. I think, are you picking up on your vibe finally? And then the devil in reverse, yeah, huge feeling of empowerment. I feel like I was going to say something about this before. Give us some clarification on the devil. Thank you so much. Conquering good thoughts, bitch. Conquering good thoughts through doing. Something is coming through about you like decreasing resistance through the habit of just doing, like something that you might have really removed within yourself are blockages of kind of like analysis paralysis, and like that really feeds into what I was saying about just like a giant push of energy, a giant push for you. Like you will push yourself, but I feel like you're also going to feel pushed like by like a tidal wave. There might be something important actually about waves. You might be part of like a new wave of something that feels exciting. That's giving me butterflies. So I think that's true. I mean, it is. Something coming through as well about trusting yourself, about trusting the moves that you make, to the point where like now you don't even have to think about making them. And feeling that trust within yourself equals feeling that safety, and that feeling of safety bleeds into that feeling of just like confidence, to the point where like you're not even thinking about it. This might not even be like very present in your mind. We've got the Tower in reverse and the Knight of Cups. Sorry, the Tower upright, and we've got the Knight of Cups. Remember I was saying in yesterday's read that something might not come back around. Something romantic might not come around. Let me get some, let me get a clarifier on that though. Is this a romantic situation? Ace of Wands. And it was in reverse. It just feels... Okay, do you know what? Let me get some cards. This might be for one or both of you. There's this feeling of kind of, it feels like for both people. Say if something romantic was maybe being like thought of coming back around, or you've been on a break, or it's been a couple of years, and maybe you always felt that like we might speak again or something like that. It feels like that is kind of like faded or fading. What I'm seeing is kind of like two people with their backs against each other, wanting to kind of like invest in opposite directions. Okay, the Ten of Pentacles. Is this... Let me get a clarifier on this. There could be some, with this other person romantically, there could be some differences in terms of kind of like what you want out of life, structures, family structures. You might not want kids, this person does, vice versa. The Two of Wands, one person might not want to go and the other one wants to leave. It could possibly be this person takes too much time. There might be, for whoever I'm reading for, you might feel a bit kind of like you can't build with this person, like you couldn't have the life that you know that you want with this person due to some, either like you can't wait for them, or due to some kind of like innate thing in them where there's something about someone struggling to make up their mind, but it feels like this other person. And then your energy feels very like go. Feels very liberated, feels very fluid. Like there's a lot of openness there to just kind of like push. I feel like you're going to be pushed into a certain direction regardless. But like you're pushing yourself in that direction, and the universe is like backing you up in that. And it feels like what I'm getting is the image of like a water slide. And it's like you've been sat there waiting on the water slide, and then the button has just been pushed, but like the water is coming from all the way up there, and like you know it's coming, you can feel it, but it's like, okay, you're not allowed to turn around, but like you can feel it, you can feel that coming. And it just feels very kind of like Nine of Pentacles for you right now. So if it's not that it's not coming back around, and I wish I could kind of like clarify that, but I think there's another situation where it's kind of like, right, I'll meet you at the next stop kind of thing. It just might not be the right time right now. Yeah, the Ace of Cups. Yeah. It just might not be the right time right now. That's where I want to settle with that. And now that I'm re-looking at the Ten of Pentacles with that perspective, it just feels kind of like, okay, maybe we've both got groundwork to do in a separate direction, in a separate location. We've both got like work on ourselves, things that we need to do, things that we need to experience. And then I wonder if the world is anywhere. And like now it's just not the right time. I think any time is the right time, but it's also kind of like if both people recognize that, then that's also a really nice space to be in. I'll meet you at the next stop. I'll meet you at the next stop. Yeah, that's really nice. You might just have a couple of years where other things are happening. It's something that I'm pulling through is that I feel like you perhaps would benefit from like being in a relationship that's kind of like just a few years long. I know you might not like that, but I feel like you might really benefit from that, aka this being with someone who can kind of like introduce you to like a certain world or help you like grow. There's some kind of like, you know, when a flower has like a stick on it and the stick teaches it like the which way to grow upright basically, and to grow straight until it doesn't need it anymore. It's kind of like that. I'm also seeing the two like training wheels on the back of a bike, and it's kind of like this person and kind of like what they're going to be able to kind of like help you focus or focus you in on something, and then you can really take it from there. I feel like you'll already be doing this thing before, but it's just like that's a real kind of like maximized push. It's going to get you somewhere quick. These all came out yesterday. Which is crazy, when I was speaking about that friendship thing. The friendship thing, or it could be like a sibling or a cousin. It's just kind of like someone that you're close to in your circle. Do you know what? Let's get a the Four of Cups. I feel I need to. Let me get some more clarifying on that. We've got the Four of Cups in reverse. There's something about perspective. The Charity in reverse. The Charity. The Chariot. My main message for yesterday was like, you're not supposed to engage. There's nothing for you to do. Not even to change your behaviour in like any way remotely. But just know that there's like other things going on. Around you that like you purposely don't need to like look at. I feel that like, okay, say whoever I was speaking about yesterday, the Queen of Swords. I think maybe distance might be a good thing. This person might have the tendency to kind of like wrap other people up in their lives. And I think the distance, or like some kind of like enforcing some kind of like detachment around your friendship. You know, when you just like, you start dating someone and it's like, do you know what, the best course of action really is to just let things bloom and kind of like see where it goes. I think the best course of action to this is to just kind of like leave this for a while as well. I feel that this person's got their own kind of like things going on in terms of like there's battles kind of like with their ego a bit, with kind of, I feel like their innate qualities are kind of gearing up a little bit, and this is going to be a time where they want to kind of like spin people into like their world. This could be the person who will come to like want a lot more of your time and stuff like that. Maybe not though. I feel like this person's like really on their own thing. We don't need to go into that. I think just distance is a real key. And victory. Let's get some clarifying. Ooh, two sides. Bear with me. I wanted to immediately say victory over something. Victory working with your intuition. Victory trusting yourself. There's some feeling, there's some kind of energy like that's presenting itself as just this energy of kind of like knowing. You might have really conquered like the deep parts of your mind emotionally. This might have happened recently. It feels like conquering it for good. Getting like the mind, getting the emotions, getting everything on side. Harmonizing everything. This is what this feels like. Conquering these two different sides of things. These might have been the things that were kind of like prohibiting you from having like a clear run of just being able to do things, you know, battling with like the subconscious, not knowing how you feel, things underlying whenever you like meet someone new, or it's romantic, or put into like a any kind of situation that might be a little bit of a, like you're not recessing anymore into those kind of like the recesses of your mind or your emotion. You know, I spoke before about kind of like analysis paralysis just being like gone. It feels like that, but also conquering these kind of like spontaneous but perhaps frequent bursts of like distraction, or maybe like partying, getting both of these things on side to make you just like a fully exquisite person. It was kind of like just these two main things. Can I just like summarize these any better? Conquering like the deeper parts of like the mind, emotions, stability, emotional, mental stability conquered. Stability when it comes to other people. You might have really healed what are they called? Like a relationship style, like an attachment style. You might have healed that. Amazing. And then also healing that side, and then conquering, getting in line the kind of action side of things. So this is like, you might find it like easy for you to like focus on one thing a day, or like one thing for an hour, rather than just being like, right, okay, I'm going to do this. Oh my God, wait, I'm going to do that. Oh wait, I need to do this. And then there's so many ideas rolling around in your brain, like you just end up stopping. You know, this might also be like your behavior in little bits, partying, getting a drink, a bit turned up. Yeah. Still being that person, still being that icon, but conquering it. That just feels like the perfect card to end this. I knew this would be a tasty reading, and it's so nice to just read the cards again. Anyway, yeah, have a gorgeous day. Bye.